Hello, this is Lorraine today with a layout for Peartree Cutfiles with a Build a Christmas Tree file. Here I have two already cut out as if by magic, one in this lovely green and one in that white pattern paper there. So I'm going with those colours of the green, the pink and black and white, a little hint of a mustard. So I've chose my photo and it's about Christmas farm, so Build a Christmas Tree is great for this. I really wanted to build an outdoor tree rather than a decorated indoor tree. So I decided, so that green didn't look quite so flat, to add some white gesso, just with my finger. You can do this with white paint or white ink pad even, the dry brush or even the ink pad itself, but I've just gone, just used my finger here and sort of strokes on it in the direction that perhaps frost or snowfall would be on the branches of the trees in the field, really. Just brings a little bit of definition, brings that green down a little bit because it is quite dark. There, they are all done. I was really pleased. They've dried quickly. Lots of little branches there to put together. So I decided on the white pattern paper, obviously you don't really want to put any gesso on there, so I decided to distress the edges to give them some texture. It was worth its while taking my time doing that because it looked great when I finished. So I'm now going to start layering up alternate, so starting with the dark green, then the white patterned, then the dark green, and so on. I love this Build a Tree file. I mean, you could have different pattern papers, different embossed sections. Still ends up the same size, because they're layered with just a tiny little bit showing on each layer there. Great for sort of adding dimension to your layout rather than a flat cut file. Something different from backing as well. So I'm going to go with the natural green that I started with. Just fluffing them up. Love that. So I'm going to position that as sort of a central style with that square photo, and I'm going to use, as you can see, I've already cut out here in pink, the Family Traditions word cut file there. Couldn't decide at first whether I'm going to put the pink back in and layer them up on 3D foam, but decided that actually that may be a little bit perhaps plain or bland, and to bring it in a bit of black and white there really in that title. As you see, I've got that lovely stripy paper there as a hip kit exclusive from their November kit that I thought I might use, but in the end those stripes weren't quite right. So there I am, nestling the photo in those branches, just having a play how I think it's going to look, so I can kind of choose where I'm going with that title that's at the bottom. I love how that gives sort of like that shelf really for the tree. So there I am, I found a lovely perfect piece of black paper. It's always a bonus to find something in your scrap box. Feels great to use it up. Makes way for lots more room for all the lovely things that are coming in 2021, I'm sure. So I'm using those positive pieces of the title Traditions. Just flipped up the other way, just drawing around with a pencil on the reverse side of that piece that is going to back the word Traditions. Don't make you watch it all, so there it is. I'm really pleased with how that is. It's got a slight sort of off-white dotted line to it, which is lovely. So it's not quite perhaps so stark as a plain black, which really works well with this page. I'm just using a cosmic shimmer glue there, fine line, all the way around to stick them down. So I'm really pleased how that turned out. It really sort of brings in that black of the sketch trees on that hip clip exclusive paper. So back in my photo so it doesn't get lost on the page, using up some of this pink again from a scrap box. So backing that photo in that pink again brings that pink from the bottom into it, and the pink trees on that sketch tree paper. Just a really narrow border I've gone for. decided that the bottom edge could be a little bit longer because of that gap between the photo and the title. Just tearing at the bottom to add some interest. Going to distress those edges as well before sticking that onto some more pattern paper in a moment. The photo is in danger, although it's quite a nice dark, simple photo, it was in danger of sort of getting lost amongst these lovely branches, so hence why backing it up with those coordinating papers brought it all back together. And to keep that flat as well, I'm not going to pop dot that on foam. I do love this photo. I was walking actually behind my son, husband and granddaughter in a Christmas tree field, so it was literally the view that I had of all the trees in front of us and them on their mission. Yeah, it's great, these branches you can kind of tuck under, tuck over the photo or whatever you've got next to it, which is great to bring it all together. So here I am bringing in those other colours. No, sorry, back a stage. So what I've done there is I have stitched off screen 2 lines of gold thread through the word traditions to add interest, and it helps again that sort of grounding, that shelf of the layout, so it doesn't look like a floating tree. Okay, so here I come in there with the black, just a really thin border around there. So I've got the white border that's already on the photo, then the pink, then the black, distressed edges. Really like having those sort of 3 elements really. We've got the tree, the photo and the title. Decided that green was a little bit too vibrant, so cover that with a piece of tracing paper or vellum you could use. I was really happy with how that turned out, because although it's still the same green, it just kind of fades into the background a bit better. I'm really liking how this is coming together, showcases that photo. So I'm sticking that flush to the page and just playing with those little branches. Can't decide whether they're going to be over or under or alternative, but I get there in the end. Happy with it. It's not covering up any of my photo either. There, the hunt for the perfect Christmas tree. So bringing a little bit of the green underneath the title. So you've got some of that green in 3 sort of areas of the page. 2 little pieces of fussy cut holly just under there. Yeah, really happy that how that's looking. So I add some more embellishments at this point that I didn't capture on film. I think I didn't turn the video on, so they appear by magic in a moment, but it's really simple to see where they have come from, especially in the final and the close-ups image. You can see them there sitting on my embellishment dish to my left on the desk. Decided to keep it really simple, only gather a few embellishments so I wasn't overwhelmed by all the lovely Christmas stash that I've got, and wasn't tempted to keep adding more and adding more. So there it is. We've got a cluster just under the photo over the word family of 3 baubles, chipboard baubles, and that lovely bramble fox perspective, the gold 2020 that's sort of hanging off the tree there, a little bit of gold thread like on the word traditions. And you'll see to the left of the T and underneath the O is a couple of black and dark green foliage branches. Again, it just sort of brings in the idea of the trees, to keep with those sort of core colours. And because they're like acetate shapes, they don't overtake the page. So I decided to add a little bit of hand journaling to my page. Don't particularly like my handwriting. I always get frustrated that I haven't got perfect handwriting, but it really does add that personal touch. And make sure that in years to come when we're reading these layouts that I actually know where we were when it was and what we were doing. I keep it quite simple in that journaling. Photo says it all, really, what we're doing. It's family tradition, going to hunt for our perfect Christmas tree for 2020. Playing with the little embellishment there. I just can't leave it alone. I decided to keep it off, keep it simple. So journaling here, where we were, the day, what we were looking for. Just so we can remember that family tradition of going hunting for our perfect Christmas tree. It'd been really heavily raining the night before. My granddaughter wanted us to choose one that wasn't wet, which was quite tricky, but funny all the same. So there we are. There's my layout. Just adding some tiny little drops of that mustardy gold Nouveau crystal drops. And just add 3 just as a triangle really to the right, left and bottom of the title, just to bring in that mustardy colour that's in a couple of sketch trees, the bramble fox perspective and a little bit of that gold thread. Just adds that sort of little highlight colour that complements the green, pink and black. These dots aren't always predictable, this medium, so there we go. I'm wiping this one off. Not quite happy with that little dot. Comes off lovely, leaves only a tiny little mark underneath, so I can put another one that I'm more happy with over it. There we go. So in my final close-up, you'll see all the different things I added off camera. Those little baubles that I didn't actually capture within the video. Hope you enjoyed my layout, and I'll see you soon.